Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of the other selection options that Photoshop has, and let's see which one is best for us. So I will bring in my pterodactyls now, and there is one right there. Now, my magic wand tool, as I established, is the best one here for us. Now, but I want you to see other ones that could be beneficial for you. So let me go ahead and resize this. And let me go ahead and say rasterize layer. But I want you to see how the lasso tool can really be beneficial for you working with the regular lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. The lasso tool is good just for a very manual way of just cutting some things out. That could really be helpful for you if that's really all you want. So notice I just drew around there. And now if I hit delete, oops, it does the opposite. I don't want that. So earlier we talked about how we can do an inverse selection. I do that, then I hit delete. Okay, great. So now I have this kind of interesting effect. Okay, not exactly what I want. So let me go ahead and undo and deselect. You'll notice also there is a polygonal lasso tool. So that's essentially going to give me like straight lines. What am I trying to do? In this case, you can see it's going to allow me to do these just kind of hard angles to be able to do my selection. I'll go all the way back to where I started. Great, wonderful. Now I can go ahead and do the same thing, delete or do an inverse if I like to as well. You'll also notice that I made a little bit of a mistake here. If you ever want to add to a selection, you can easily do that. So if I go back to my lasso tool and I want to add to the selection, if I hold down the Shift key on my keyboard to add to the selection, I'm able to do this more kind of manual way of now adding on to things. If I want to remove from that selection, I selected way too much, right? I can also remove it. So again, this is Shift to add to the selection and Alt to take away from the selection. Okay, there is Alt, okay, and then there is also going to be Shift if I want to add to the selection. Okay, see that? And that is going to be a good combo of when you start working with a number of different selection tools. Okay, because notice how I started off with one selection tool and then I switched over to another selection tool. If I wanted to add on something using my quick selection tool and combine it with my lasso tool, I absolutely can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and deselect this. And now let's finally talk about the magnetic lasso tool. Now, for certain things, the magnetic lasso tool is going to be really like your best friend, because what it does is it magnetizes to the edge of the particular object. It recognizes contrast between colors and its background and context. So if I choose magnetic lasso tool, I want you to notice when I move my mouse to the edge here, it kind of drops a little egg. I'm not even clicking, I'm just moving my mouse. Now I clicked, and now you can see, all right, it did an okay job. But you can see I'm just kind of very, very slowly moving my mouse. I'm just going to click, click. I'm just going to go a little faster this time. Just go, go, go. Just watch how smart Photoshop is to be able to get the edge of what I am trying to select. And you can see, all right, great. And then when I come to the beginning, notice I get this little circle. It tells me that I'm at the beginning. And now I've got it. And it did a pretty good job. Of course, I don't need this because I would use my magic wand tool, but you'll notice how amazing the magnetic lasso tool can be for you. Now, if I zoom in, I'll notice that it didn't do a great job. So then what did we just learn? We learned how I could go to my lasso tool and then hold down my Shift key and then just add to my selection. See that? I'm just going to add to this selection. So think about your lasso as, or all of these really, as like one big toolbox as you do this. Okay, so you really want to think about like, well, I can use this type of selection tool for one thing and then another one. So like the lasso tool is a little more surgical, where this is a little more macro, working with our quick selection tools. And these are more kind of specialists if you think about it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out, Control 0. And I'm going to just now do Control D. I don't really need to do that. And here we go. Let's use our magic wand tool. Click. Wow, that is so much easier. Now you probably even have more of an appreciation for all how that works. I'm going to hit the V key to go back to my move tool and then click and drag, make that a little smaller, have that kind of flying overhead. All right, and then I'm going to give you a few minutes to practice, and then I'm on my own, off record, I'm going to bring in my flying saucer and my pterodactyl just the same, and I'll have you do the same thing on your own. So we'll see you after you practice.